JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Riverton gunmen unidentified after 4 days. 4 days after a gun battle took place in Riverton, St. Andrew, leaving 3 men dead and 4 others in custody, local authorities said the deceased remain unidentified. This was the information released by the Police Information Arm, the Corporate Communications Unit, CCU. One police source said based on checks it appears that relatives of the men have not gone in to identify the bodies. The police source further revealed that this was not the first case where family members have delayed going in to identify persons who were shot and killed by authorities in controversial cases. The Independent Commission of Investigations in the Common Tuesday said it had started an investigation into the incident. Reports are that a team of motorcycle personnel from the St. Andrew South Quick Response Team led the way in tackling the heavily armed gunmen in the gritty inner city community. Reports are that members of the bike team signaled 2 motor vehicles to stop along Ferguson Drive in Riverton City. In the community release, said reports it received were that the male occupants of one of the vehicles exited and started firing at the police. The police reportedly returned the fire, and 3 men were subsequently found suffering from gunshot wounds. 2 firearms, a UTG AK-47 assault rifle and a Browning 9mm pistol, were seized by the police. The men were later pronounced dead at the Kingston Public Hospital. Taxi driver dies in St. Mary crash. A taxi operator died in a motor vehicle crash on Banana Road in Port Maria, St. Mary on Friday morning. He has been identified as 53-year-old Philip Clunis of the Frontier Housing Scheme in St. Mary. 5 other persons were injured. About 8:30 a.m., Mr. Clunis was driving a Toyota Probox which collided with a tow truck traveling in the opposite direction. The driver of the truck, Andrew Martin, said that he tried to avoid the collision by sticking as close to the left of the road as possible, but the taxi continued to head straight into his vehicle. I couldn't do nothing more. It was just coming down on my side, coming straight down. Him didn't even try to take away from the truck. So unfortunately, it be like that, he lamented. Mom pleads guilty to failing to notify authorities about pregnant 13-year-old. A Kingston woman was on Thursday hauled before the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court for failing to notify the authorities about the pregnancy of her 13-year-old daughter. The teenager was reportedly impregnated by a 22-year-old pastor whom she met on Facebook. The woman, who pleaded guilty to failing to report to the Office of the Children's Registry, OCR, however denied having knowledge about her daughter's condition. "Me never know so she pregnant," she insisted. She further told the parish court Judge Lorian Cole Montague that the child lives with her 71-year-old grandmother. The judge subsequently ordered a social inquiry report and extended her bail for her to return to court on October 26. The grandmother has also been charged with failing to report to the Office of the Children's Registry, while the pastor has been charged with rape. According to allegations, the teen met the pastor in March of last year on Facebook and they started communicating. She was then reportedly invited to visit the pastor's church and started attending regularly. It is further reported that the teen and the pastor would often communicate using her grandmother's phone, and that when she became pregnant, she introduced the pastor to her grandmother as the man who had gotten her pregnant. It is also alleged that the man would visit her at her grandmother's home and would stay over when he visits Kingston to attend church. The grandmother is also alleged to have collected money from the pastor to take care of the teen's medical needs. Mistaken identity. Lawyer for Westmoreland man arrested for murder and rape claims it wasn't him. This is a classic case of mistaken identity, attorney at law Michael Erskine told investigators at the Westmoreland Parish Court. His client, Dwayne Raffington from Highgate in Darlaston, had been hauled before the court on July 20. The 38-year-old mechanic has been charged with a number of offenses, but his attorney insists he's been mistaken for someone else. Among the charges Raffington faces is the murder of 20-year-old Fitzroy Booth of Bluefields and the abduction and rape of Booth's female companion. The Riverton police report that Booth was at home in Caledonia Withon in the parish with a female companion on June 30 when they heard sounds outside at 2:10 a.m. Booth took up a machete and went to check the source of the sounds when he was shot. It is alleged that Raffington then abducted and raped the female who was present, the police report alleged. When the police arrived at Booth's home, he was found with gunshot wounds to his upper body. Raffington was found hours later at his house, where he was positively identified by the female victim and arrested, the police said. He was charged on July 5 with murder, rape, grievous sexual assault, abduction, and burglary. At his client's committal hearing on Tuesday, Erskine's claimed that established protocols were not followed during the investigation that led to his client's arrest. The attorney accused investigators of failing to hold an identification parade and argued that his client was not given an opportunity to answer the allegations made against him at the time of his arrest. An officer at the Savlamar police station who asked not to be identified by name explained that having an eyewitness, the female victim, made it unnecessary to have an identification parade or a question and answer session. There was no need for an identification parade because the victim had already identified Raffington. When we first questioned the victim, she described the clothes he was wearing, and we found the same clothing at his house when we picked him up. Plus, we have a lot of other evidence, the lawman added. Raffington has been remanded in custody ahead of an antecedent report for a second committal hearing. The report will provide the judge with information on prior criminal convictions, if there are any, before the matter is tried in the circuit court. 2 Jamaican men plead guilty to cocaine distribution scheme in the U.S. 2 Jamaican men have pleaded guilty to federal charges in the United States after a routine traffic stop led to the discovery that they were participants in a cocaine distribution scheme between Jamaica and New York. Avon Shuttleworth, otherwise called Avon, 46, of Rosedale, New York, pleaded guilty in the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of Georgia to possession with intent to distribute cocaine. The other man, Courtney Anthony Drummond, 52, of Brunswick, Georgia, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute and to distribute cocaine. Drummond is a native of Jamaica and a legal resident of the United States, while Shuttleworth is a citizen of Jamaica. A statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Southern District of Georgia said on Friday, the pleas subject the defendants to statutory sentences of 5 to 40 years in federal prison, along with substantial financial penalties, followed by a period of supervised release, the statement said, adding that there is no parole in the federal system. The date for the sentencing of the Jamaicans was not disclosed. It was reported that agents with the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, led by agents from the Savannah Resident Office, initiated a probe of cocaine trafficking from Jamaica into the New York City area in March 2020. According to court documents and testimony, Drummond met with Shuttleworth and another conspirator on March 14, 2020. During the meeting at Shuttleworth's home in New York, Drummond agreed to deliver 2 kilograms of cocaine to a buyer in Baltimore, the U.S. Attorney's Office said. While on his journey to deliver the illicit drug, Drummond was pulled over by a Georgia State Patrol trooper for tailgating another vehicle on March 15, 2020. A search of the vehicle by troopers led to the discovery of the 2-kilogram bricks of cocaine. Drummond told investigators that he had been unable to contact the Maryland buyer and was headed to his then home in Riviera Beach, Florida, the statement said. Federal agents later used a warrant to search Shuttleworth's New York home, resulting in the discovery of a ledger detailing drug transactions, as well as a large press used to make kilo-sized drug bricks. This traffic stop led to the seizure of almost 5 pounds of cocaine, ensuring this dangerous and potentially deadly drug never reached the seller, and more importantly, the consumer, said Robert J. Murphy, special agent in charge of the DEA Atlanta Field Division. For his part, acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia, David H. Estes, said, "It's truly incredible how so many elaborate criminal schemes fall apart because of a simple traffic violation." He added, "Thanks to an alert Georgia State Patrol trooper and outstanding work from our law enforcement partners, an operation that moved kilos of illegal drugs in the northeastern United States has been brought to a halt." 142 new COVID cases, 5 more deaths in Jamaica. The island recorded 142 new COVID-19 cases and 5 more deaths on Friday, bringing the infection total to 51,828 and total deaths to 1,173. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported that the new cases comprise 80 females and 62 males with ages ranging from 5 months to 84 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 49, St. Catherine and St. James, 20 each, Manchester, 16, Westmoreland, 13, Hanover and St. Elizabeth, 10 each, St. Mary, 2, St. Thomas and Trelawney, 1 each. Among the latest deaths are a 72-year-old male from St. James, a 51-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, a 38-year-old male from St. James, an 83-year-old male from St. Thomas, and a 68-year-old male from St. Elizabeth. Jamaica had 24 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 46,818. Currently, 143 people are hospitalized, 16 of which are critically ill, while 32 are moderately ill. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.